Hey guys, my name is Brent. I'm a licensed counselor. Today I wanted to talk to you about trauma bonding. And if you don't know what that is, this video is definitely for you. But if you do, I encourage you to stay tuned because maybe you'll learn something new. Okay, so trauma bonding. It's sort of self-explanatory. You bond through trauma, but it's not that simple. One could deduce that you bond through traumatic experiences, which is a form of attaching to someone, and a lot of times this does happen. But trauma bonding in and of itself really is indicative of you bond through the traumatic experiences of being with that partner. So it's a very roller coaster ride relationship, if that makes sense. You actually have this very strange sort of connection with the person that's causing you trauma. You get these weird feelings of connection, but you don't feel loved, but then you feel connected, and then you feel like the other person may hate you. And it's just, like I said, a roller coaster ride. So I think it's best to kind of talk about, some of the signs, maybe some examples. So a few signs to help this is if you know this person is abusive in your life, but you choose to stay anyway, believing that they're going to change their personality, they may be better. You have a lot of gaslighting that may be in the relationship. The partner may promise things and they never really live up to them. It's this big roller coaster ride on good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. One of the things to look at here with trauma bonding is a history of childhood abuse. A lot of times you may see people who've been abused, neglected, sort of reenacting that trauma, which it's called trauma reenactment. And they're reenacting that trauma over and over again. And so this person may find a partner that is somewhat abusive, but then they choose to stay as well. Another thing that is a factor here is an obligatory sense, right? So you're staying with your partner because you feel obligated for whatever reason. Maybe this person helped take you out of a poor socioeconomic status into a middle class or upper class. You feel this sense of obligation to this person because they were a rescuer. And so that leads into the next point. It may be a survival thing, right? So you may just be trying to survive, and you know that you're not going to be able to survive on your own without this said person. The main point here is that if your partner is abusive and it's not healthy to stay, then it is really important that you seek help, you get out if possible. But start to recognize the signs. I think the best thing here is just to document, journal, make sure that you are trying to just figure out, what's going on inside of your own head, because a lot of times in these situations you feel, quote, crazy, right? I don't necessarily like that term, but I think in this sense, it's important to say that there's a lot of crazy making. That actually is a term. And so you feel just this craziness in your brain. You don't know down from up. You're riding the roller coaster, like I said, and you don't really know. So I think the best thing here is to just document what's going on, journal about it, just get that stuff down on paper if possible. Obviously seek help, get counseling, have wise people in your corner, have healthy friendships that can help you work through some of this stuff. And if it's just a not healthy relationship, then do what you need to do to get out of that if it's definitely abusive. And so you have to recognize this within yourself. If you're staying in something and it's just not healthy, then you need to figure out what your plan of action is, what you're going to do to just move through this stuff and not stay stuck. Because a lot of times with trauma bonding, you will be stuck in this kind of relationship for a long period of time and not really make any kind of progress. So again, I'm not advocating for you to leave your relationships. If you can relate to some of this stuff, that's why it's important to go to counseling. That's why it's important to process this with someone, because it's easy to sit here and say, oh, well, this one thing, I feel like, so it's easy to sit here and say, oh, I think that this one aspect is true, so I need to leave my relationship. But if you're in an abusive relationship, definitely consider that you need to start keeping track of this stuff and talking to somebody. That way you can get some grounding. Grounding is really important. So my final encouragement is this: if this is you and you're struggling with this, definitely go seek out counseling. Go to someone who's not necessarily connected to the system, not necessarily a friend, although friends are great, but go to somebody that's not connected to this so that you can process some of this stuff and figure out what is going on, because that's the first step. So I hope this video has been helpful. Please remember, click that subscribe button so you can get more of these in the future, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.